Good evening, everyone, and welcome to episode 17 of Malt and Magic Campaign 2. Can I just say, holy shit, what a start to the episode tonight. We have had follows, raiders, new people in the chat. I think a subscription dropped in at some point because we're now suddenly at 9 subscribers. So, holy shit, and thank you very much. That's amazing. What a way to start tonight. So, let's hope we do it justice. No pressure, boys. We're on tonight. But before we get to all of that, let's run down our usual shout-outs, our usual thank yous. There's a few extra things to talk about tonight, so we will move rapidly on. Our first shout-outs, of course, go to our virtual tabletop and mapping tools, so Incarnate, Albo Radio, and Dungeon Alchemist. For anybody that's been paying attention to the Discord server in the last sort of hour or so, you will have noticed a brand new map that I published into the DM's workshop, which is the map of the current city we are in as part of the campaign. I've been busy working on that, following the Incarnate tutorials, just to try and improve my map building. Pretty pleased with how it turned out. There's some things I'm going to change for next time, but yes, go check out the map of Agrees in the Discord server, and thank you again to Incarnate for providing those tools. There are then the DM's tools that I use in the background, so Kassoon, 5-Bit Magic Shop, 2 Minutes Tools, Thieves Guild and World Anvil, and of course for all things character visuals and NPC visuals and tokens and the like, there is Hero Forge as well, so you see all of them popping up along the bottom. For our musical tracks, or some of our musical tracks, you will hear, they are thanks to Tabletop Audio. My brain just disappeared out my head for a minute there. So yes, thank you to Tabletop Audio, and of course a huge shout out to Battle Bards as well, whom we are still partnered with. As I said, the discount code is no longer applicable, but still a huge shout out to Battle Bards for everything they provide us in terms of sound effects and musical tracks. If you've not checked out BattleBards version 2.0, then I encourage you to go and do so. There is a whole raft of things to go and play with, so please go and do that. You can see all the social media links. There's my token mic up the night. All the social media links there at the bottom of the lower third. So please come and follow us on Twitter, on Instagram, on Twitch, YouTube, and of course TikTok as well. You will catch all of our past episodes on YouTube. Or podcast as well. As I said last week, the podcast listens are up quite considerably, so I want to give everybody who's listening on the podcast a massive shout out again. Thank you so much. Really encouraging to see people listening to campaign 1 episodes as well. It's great that folks are catching up as well, so thank you so much for that. I've already mentioned the Discord server, and I think Dave's having a whale of a time here because I am rapid tonight. But yes, I've already mentioned the Discord server. Please come and join us on there. There's all sorts of things. I know we've been a bit quiet on there recently. Life happens. But there are homebrews from Campaign 1. There's maps. There's fan art. The fan art after last week was phenomenal. Thank you so much for that. Really brilliant. And of course there is the growing community of Malt and Magic fans, where we all support each other. We probably need a fan base nickname. I don't know what to call them, but yeah, we'll figure that out at some time. Fans, chatters, go and figure that one out for yourselves and let us know what you choose. So yes, that's it for the usual shout outs and thank yous, I believe. I don't think I've missed anything. Now, last week we did make something of an announcement around giveaways. Now, there is a very special one-time only item that we are at some point going to start a giveaway competition for, but we want to hit a certain goal before we even kick that off. So when we hit 100 followers, and we said 10 subscribers, we're almost at the subscriber limit, or minimum bar if you like. So a minimum of 10 subscribers and a minimum of 100 followers. We will then kick off the giveaway for this very special item, which we will also reveal at that time. But it is awesome, and I don't want anybody to miss out. So please, if you want a chance at getting that one-of-a-kind Malt and Magic special edition item, then please help us achieve those numbers and stick around. So yes, that's it for giveaways. Now I'm also very pleased this week to announce that we have a new partner / collaborator that we are working with. So I don't know about you, but especially in this campaign, I don't know how many folks have been wanting to add sort of epic ship battles to their DMing arsenal. Homie and the Dude, a UK-based podcast, a UK-based D&D podcast, have launched a brand new Kickstarter where you can experience swashbuckling adventures in the comfort of your very favourite 5e settings with this brand new vehicle combat overlay. So that Kickstarter is going to provide everything from mechanics, crew structure, and much more, so you can really make the most of your privateering or piracy. I will post the link in the chat later. But please, when I do drop that in, go and support that awesome project. I'm in sort of talks with them to hopefully preview some of the mechanics in the game, and a few other things in the meantime as well. But yes, please go check them out. And in doing so, help another growing D&D content creator or set of content creators. It looks really, really cool. We will post more about that on social media, Discord and various other channels. Literally agreed it in the last couple of days, hence not a lot prepped for it, but we will go from there. So yes, and that is it. Lots of things to look forward to, lots of things to deal with following last week. So I think with that, my usual warnings certainly apply. There will be adult language and definitely adult humour. So expect a lot of fucks, a lot of shits, and a lot of oh hell. Let's roll.
Hello.
Hello.
How's everybody doing?
Good. We are good.
Good stuff. I suppose the only thing I forgot to say, or two things actually, I forgot to say in that intro is, first of all, congratulations to our new king in the UK. So, God save the king and all that. And secondly, slightly more importantly for me, is she's not going to watch this for a number of years, but happy 6th birthday to my eldest daughter for tomorrow. So yes. And with that, let's run down our lineup as well. So I am Matt, I'm your Dungeon Master for this evening and most evenings, and the some form of cog in some way, shape, form, voice, mentality, emotions. There you go.
I'm Dave, I am playing Jewel of Shadows, the female Tabaxi rogue. And yes, I may also say that when I was watching the King's Coronation this weekend, the three cheers from all the 4,000 odd people in the garden was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, the military did us proud this weekend.
Yeah, I love that bit.
Hello, and I am Danny, and I am playing Lex Ordo, the UNT sorcerer, and literally my main aim for this evening, I'll consider it a success if I don't die this week. Entry level requirement, that's what I'm going for.
Hello, I am Simo, and I'm playing, well, I start the session by playing Caster's Wispgut. Let's see if I finish the session playing the same character, who knows?
The optimism is high tonight,
yeah. Can you tell, chat? Can you really tell?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Danny said it
So last week
Danny said it in the chat, but I really miss having a cleric in the party.
So yes, last week was a lot of fun. Yes, Streamlabs does need to calm down again. We'll get that fixed. Apologies there, Bread.
either there's fuck all or too much.
It is like 0 to 100. There is no in between with Streamlabs. So,
it turned into a Karen. I apologise.
Last week it doesn't want to do anything. This week it just wants to ban everyone.
Yes, this week it wants to speak to the manager. Fuck up.
We're going to rename our Streamlabs bot to Karen.
Can we do that?
I was just going to find out if I can do that
Probably.
right now.
Probably.
I hope that's a transatlantic joke and it's not just the UK. I hope that makes sense to Europe.
Let's hope so. Anyway, as I was saying, last week was funny. Please don't apologise, Brad. It's not your fault. It's our bloody box going stupid. Yes, last week was a lot of fun. We began the episode sort of unpacking a few bits again from revelations that had happened in previous weeks, and then it was time to rest up and wait for dusk in order for Jewel to go and meet with a contact or find more information around an organisation that had been nicknamed by Jewel the Veiled Viper, but an organisation known to Jewel as the Serpent Cloak. An organisation that should be known to most fans, or at least people that are familiar with Campaign 1.
Point of fact, it wasn't the
so-
organisation called the Veiled Viper, by the way.
Say again?
It wasn't the organisation nicknamed the Veiled Viper.
Yeah, okay. So certain individuals within the Serpent Cloak called the Veiled Viper. Yes. The day passed with a heart-to-heart between Lex and Cog. Cog having driven some doubt into the mind of Lex with its actions over amulets and other things that had gone on in the past hours and days as Jewel was sort of brought back from the brink of death. Karsus spent the majority of the time copying spells into their spellbook and preparing new spells ready for what was to come, and Jewel slept, and Jewel dreamt, and Jewel remembered. Following that, we then went downstairs in the precursor to what is probably some of the most comedic moments we've had in Campaign 2 so far. And proceeded to speak to a different barkeep. Found a small table after being given an envelope, which had been held back for the occupants of room 17. The envelope was then opened with a hiss, discovering this green parchment, sickly green parchment that had no text, but Jewel quickly discovered there was some hidden invisible ink type writing on it. You tried to test this with heat, which almost set the whole paper on fire and destroyed it completely, but Jewel, being quick to the punch, then quickly pierced their finger slightly and dripped some blood onto the page, revealing the new message, which explained to Jewel that it was the first step in a journey, and they needed to head to a certain location in order to get more information, or get the information that they had sought from Thalissa, or the letter that they had sent from Thalissa, way back when, in like episode 5 or even 4, I think it was a while ago. Then came the comedy. How do we stealth into an alley or get to an alley and not be seen? So rather than getting to the alley and then thinking, okay, now let's do some shit to be stealthy, we decided to stealth from the room. Two folks went invisible. Jewel went stealthy. There was a lot of grabbing of tails, and that's not a euphemism. And a lot of crazy shit happened. But it was a lot of fun. It was great fun to watch as a DM, as the party took I think Simao said it perfectly last week, a simple task and made it all the more complicated. So well done there. Eventually you got to the alley, and Jewel launched themselves up onto a roof while the invisible Lex and Karsus proceeded to sort of guard the alley of sorts. I think they ended up just having a conversation in the end. Jewel jumped onto the roof and was sort of keeping a watchful eye, only to then be surprised from behind, which again is not a euphemism, by a cloaked individual. The cloaked individual revealed themselves to be the half-orc taverness, or the half-orc tavern owner, Nadira. Linda. It's not Linda. Anyway, rocks fall, everybody dies. No. Again, Nadira explained to Jewel that there was a journey to be had here. And when you looked on Nadira, she was sort of equipped in full thieves' leathers, a very malevolent-looking dagger, and these ampules or vials of liquid in a sort of ammo belt. Yes, eventually, Jewel was given another sealed envelope, which we have yet to open. and Jewel then launched themselves back into the alley to go and find Lex and Carsis. And they eventually did, after hearing some whispering. Lex and Carsis not noticing the stealthy Jewel, despite being invisible and being able to walk around quite freely. And they knew we were just about to leave when a bounty hunter stepped out of the shadows and proceeded to try and take you, or at least capture you, the bounty hunter and their lackeys. Fight was a lot harder than we thought it was going to be. Having listened back to the episode, there was some serious cockiness right at the beginning when the NPC was talking. Some serious bravado. And I think we brought the party back down to earth.
Only 6 feet under it.
The battle did ensue, and you were dealing well with the ads, I'm going to call them, the lackeys, the supporting members of this bounty hunter crew. And that was the moment where this dragonborn individual unleashed a deathly breath weapon, which was extremely deadly, dropping 2 of the party members, and the third then having to try and recover the situation. You almost did a little bit when an unknown individual then stepped out into the alley, told you to run, and proceeded to fire spells, fire arrows, and various other things at this set of bounty hunters and bounty seekers, shall we say. Eventually the battle was won, but not without further issue, as Carsis yet again went down from the swing of an axe. And this is where we begin tonight, in an alley with blood, corpses, and some tiredness there, as this individual who has joined and helped you just sort of stands there, lowers the bow down, looking around you all. Why didn't you just run?
Oh, we tried.
Not hard enough. Why did you come back? Why did they, him, it, whatever that... sorry, your friend. We should probably deal with that. Why did they not run?
Did I, or... I don't think I did manage to give Carsis another potion? He's currently out.
Not yet. Not yet.
Okay.
So with this, Carsis, roll me a death saving throw.
What?
4.
4. How many failures is that now? 1?
That's 1-1.
1 and 1. So 1 failure, 1 success. As blood begins to just pool around Carsis now.
So as I kneel down next to Carsis and bring out my final potion of healing, a 2d4 plus 2, if you want to roll that somehow.
I shall.
His name is the Untouchable Swordsman, and he cannot leave a fight. I do not think.
I understand the irony of his... Yeah. A
Yeah.
little bit ironic right now. But,
So this individual then reaches up and pulls the hood back, and you see a stunningly beautiful female tiefling individual with these horns that are purplish black that curl up and then back around the head, and the hair then follows where it's pulled into a tight braided sort of plait or ponytail behind their head. They are wearing more hunter's leathers as such. They have this longbow strung across their back, which you'd already noticed. You'd seen them firing that before. And they also have a quarterstaff almost crossed over their back as well. Make me perception checks then, please, Jewel and Lex. And in that moment, Carsis, you recover how many health points?
9.
9. So as Jewel pours down the potion of healing, Jewel, I'll say your perception check's at disadvantage as a result.
Mine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I got 18.
Carsis's eyes
Would have been
flash
good.
open.
9.
9. And
9.
Lex, sorry, you got a
18.
18. So, Jewel, you are purely focused on getting your friend back on their feet, back beyond the brink, which you do. Lex, however, you take this moment to sort of turn and look towards this individual, and you notice that as opposed to in addition to the items they already carry, you also notice what looks like a pouch very similar to the one that Karsis wears. There is a small book of sorts attached in almost like a holster to their leg, and what looks also like a small buckler shield on their lower back under the cloak. They wear a particular ring that again looks very similar to one that Karsis wields.
What?
And
I'm
with
confused
an
as fuck.
18 around their
So
neck,
confused.
you see a necklace of sorts, or a pendant. And there is a gold, maybe brass, that sort of colour, pendant on it, which looks like maybe a book. You'd need to get closer to really get a good feel for it, but it looks like a book with something on it. And as Karsis then finally and opens their eyes, well, that's one less thing to worry about. Shall we get out of this alley?
Do you
Is
have
the
any
body
other
of the body of the what's it still there? Yeah, dragon
Dog
body.
the bounty hunter?
So there was a couple that were already burned, but yes, the body of the bounty hunter is still there.
As soon as I notice that Karsis is stabilizing, and she says that in a moment, I want to know what they know of us, and I want to rifle through the pockets around the body. I am looking for evidence on us, but also trinkets, coins.
Okay.
I'm rolling the
Fashion
guy.
candidate search.
Make an investigation check, please.
Okay, investigation.
Joel, it's all right. I'll get up by myself.
Yes, I'm sure it'll be fine.
So the individual will wander over to Karsis and sort of holds out a hand, and then looks at you. Interesting.
Holy fuck. Take her hand and get up.
Is there a reason you did not leave with us, Karsis? We nearly lost you there.
Yeah, I mean, I thought I had him. That's all. It's clearly I didn't. Clearly he was a bit stronger than I thought. Oh, that stinks.
15 on the investigation check.
15. So as you rifle through the possessions of this bounty hunter, you find the great axe and sort of put that to the side.
Yeah.
But then you sort of loot through the pockets. You find a small coin purse, which contains, by a feel and by a quick look, you reckon there's probably around 50 gold pieces in there.
Nice.
You also find a small piece of rolled up parchment, which, as you unfurl, is a full bounty description, bounty letter, with descriptions of the three of you wanted for murder of the chief arcanist or head arcanist of Thalissa. And there is a bounty amount on there, 500 gold pieces per individual, dead or alive.
That is an insult, and I roll it back up and put it in my pocket.
I was thinking.
We were way more.
Karsis, I'm going to say, as you sort of take the hand of this female tiefling individual and stand, your eyes meet hers for a minute, and as your eyes meet her, it's almost like where they are naturally blue, there is a slight flash of violet within them.
What? Matt, what are you doing? What's the skin color of this tiefling?
Um,
Did you mention?
I haven't mentioned. the skin colour that you sort of see again is this almost tanned colour, but again there's like this violet sheen, like just tiny glow to her skin.
Okay.
Next question: will she go on a date with me? That's
Hello. Were you the one helping us?
Yes, well, you could say that. It's time for introduction shortly. Have you finished looting bodies now, my feline friend?
Yes, I have found what I needed. Let's go.
Very good. Then might I suggest we do this? And they just hold out a hand and this flash of flame darts towards the body and lights it all up as the body burns to ash. And they step around and do it to each of the bodies.
Holy fuck.
Well, that should keep the authorities off our backs for a time.
Makes sense to get rid of the evidence, I suppose. That's quite a trick.
Do you have somewhere we can talk in private?
I was hoping
What the hell's going on here?
Well, we had a place, but they apparently heard us there. However, best place we have. Let's go. Let's go.
Okay. Very good. Lead the way.
Not quite consciously, but Jewel will actually put her hood back up.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll carry on.
And
Heading
the
back.
tiefling individual does the same, just pulls that hood over themselves. So their face is then sort of shrouded in darkness.
Do I need to cover my head too? Are we trying to be in disguise here?
We are trying not to be seen, Lex.
Should we go invisible again? It worked so well last time.
I
Evidently.
can't do that again. Well, I can do that to one of us, but not to
Okay.
both. So I guess I'll go. I'm kidding. No, I'll stay and I'll just walk side by side with Lex. Probably. Is she? Are they moving like ahead of us or behind us or?
Waiting for you to lead on, as they don't really have a clue where they're going.
Okay, so I'll be at the front, and we'll head off, depending on whether Lex and Cassis want to therefore be behind.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, you all begin to then head off back towards the tavern that you'd been staying in, which the name of which is just completely dropped out of my skull. Welcome to all the new chatters, by the way. Thank you very much for joining us. I hope you're enjoying it so far. Continue to wax lyrical in the chat there. It's great to see.
Believe in the
yes, you want
the Ironwood Innkeep.
That's the one. I was sitting there like the Iron Hall, the Iron something, Ironwood Inn. Thank you very much.
Cool, whatever you want.
So,
Linda's
Yeah,
anyway,
it's
so you know.
Yes. For campaign 3, or can we have literally the most mundane names for everything? Like everyone's called Keith and Roger and Tim. I'll actually remember who they are then.
This is the Red Lion.
Because every time you say Madeira, I just think of cake.
well, she's not called Madeira.
I know. but
Nadira.
In my head, that's how I'm remembering it. I'm just like, oh yeah, that lady, that cake lady.
I hate you all. I really do. Very good. You all wander back towards the Ironwood Inn then. Darkness has fallen at this point, so it's easier to sort of skulk in the shadows a bit more. And you wander around, sort of just keeping an eye out. I'm going to say with Jules' passive perception of stupid, you sort of very easily avoid any contact with individuals. And eventually make your way back to the Ironwood Inn and sort of sneak your way upstairs to room 17. What are you doing when you get into the room?
Collapsing, I'm fucking knackered. I've got 6 hit points and I've just done a half-mile walk.
Lex, before you do, can you? I suppose we're all here. It's not going to help to do that alarm warning thing.
Yeah, I can do that on the door. Just give me a minute, right? I just need to compose myself.
We'll check the window, but if there are any curtains on it, we'll actually leave them slightly open to make sure that we can't, it's not. Someone can literally be outside and we don't notice. So
it's a 30-foot area, so in theory, right, that would do the corridor outside of the room and probably out of the window as well, would it? If somebody was to try and climb up.
I think, doesn't it mean that you'd run the string round that 30-foot area sort of thing?
Potentially. I'll allow it. I'll say you put a barrier around the room, basically. As I laugh at all the names that are now coming through the chat. The Mike Donald's Inn is
Mike Donald's Inn is... That's very good. That's very good. That's the one I was looking at. That's incredible.
It is incredible. So you all sort of walk in. Lex eventually casts this alarm spell, and the individual sort of then takes the hood back down, and again, stunningly beautiful. Nice trick. Well, this is quaint.
Thank you very much for your help earlier. Well, just now. I know this is quite the odd answer. It is meant in a kind way, but why did you help us?
He means thank you.
We'll get to
She
that.
means thank you. Yeah.
We'll get to that.
And who are you?
That's where I was going to start.
Are we all just firing our questions off at once and then you answer them all, or are we taking it in turns?
That is the way that we usually do it, to be fair, so...
Yeah.
You all talk.
Can I go next?
To answer my tiefling friend's question here, my name is Ashira. Ashira Nightshade.
Ooh, sexy. Kira Lampshade. Got it.
Is that an IKEA lampshade? It's got like a weird name, so...
What spells did she pass?
Meteor swarm.
Ash on the floor.
Oh my god.
Oh dear.
Fucking hell, what is it with campaign 2? You are balls. Anyway. As to why I helped you, I don't like to see anybody getting, well, beaten to shit by anyone that's bigger than them, I guess. Metaphorical thing, but I don't like seeing anybody getting beaten to a pulp.
Not that I liked them at all, but it seems like they were doing their job. Not a nice one, but they clearly were a bounty hunter for us.
Yeah. Did you manage to establish when you cavity searched the body whether they were after just Karsus or all three of us?
I am afraid it is all three of us from whoever planted the evidence on us back where we all met. I am afraid they are planting the Alchemist's death on us, which we knew. I might point out that I found the Alchemist dead because we were working for her. And someone
I mean,
as
I'm
bigger
not one to
plans.
judge. I'm not here to pass judgment. Did innocent guilty? I frankly don't care.
Well,
All too large amount.
while I have it fresh in my memory. Lex, Cassis, which one of you cast something on me during that fight? There was some odd things.
What? What? I didn't cast anything on you. I told you I'd always ask permission.
Cassis?
No, I was frankly too focused on the Dragonborn to do anything about it. So
I was
no,
probably
didn't cast
dead
anything.
at the time. Yeah.
Okay, so what on earth caused what we saw? I managed to miss getting it partially, and I attacked other people in the battle. That is not magic.
Was that you? And I'll point to Shira.
No, anything I cast was very blatant. Karsus, did you wish to do an insight check, by the way?
Yeah.
Go for it.
-1.
Absolutely.
I rolled
sensational.
really shit as well. I rolled a 5.
I rolled a 2 on the dice because I'm at disadvantage.
Let's unpack that later then. Can I do
When I say
a...
blatant, it was big fiery spells and things that were quite clearly there to.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
others.
That one was fascinating, if I may say so.
It's fairly standard, to be honest, but I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Well, if that's standard for you, that is definitely extraordinary to me.
Can I do a check on Lex and Karsus? Or on Jewel, more precisely.
Owner check, you mean?
Insight check on did you or did you not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Where's my insight? It's going to be absolute garbage. 8. Presumably nothing.
Well,
I mean,
I've not tried to
They're
deceive
not
you.
lying, they're not trying to deceive you, but with an 8, you are just totally oblivious to anything. It's almost like you spotted a light on the ceiling all of a sudden and just became distracted by that for a moment.
Laser pen.
I had to get a cat joke in there somewhere.
Do you think is it not just what your tail ring can do, where you can like teleport a little bit? Is it just an extension of that power?
It is no. The ring has been tested for many generations through my family. It has never had anything such as this.
Very odd.
I'm sorry, I'm slightly lost at this point. What are we talking about here?
Yes, we'll get to that, Joel, later. I'm sort of interested in why you're here, why you came.
Yes, pardon me. You carry on.
Yeah, and it's nice to see another tiefling, by the way.
Yes, I was going to get to that.
I thought I'd nudge you along a little bit.
So I'm here because I was sent here.
By the magistrate?
By my order.
Keep going. Keep going.
Yep. Elaborate. Come on.
That's all I'm going to say about that, to be honest. I don't know any of you, but I am led to believe that you are innocent. So there are individuals out there who are seeking for some protection of yourself, and it looks like I arrived just in time to prevent anything nasty happening to you. By the way, Jewel, I think it was, the individual you met on the roof, probably not the sort of individual you want to be associating yourself with. Or at least not that faction. But each their own.
How long have you been following us? Just out of curiosity.
How long have I been here? I lost you when you went out to the temple, because fuck am I going out into that desert, but I heard what you were talking about when you came back. And yeah, a couple of days, I think.
You are very good.
Yeah, or we are very
Shit.
oblivious. Yeah, yeah,
That's
Probably
kind
the
of how it's meant to be.
yeah. Well, I mean, I lost Carsus holding on to his tail, for fuck's sake. I don't know. I had no chance of finding you.
Very lovely tale it is, though.
Oh, that's the green light.
Sorry,
Yep.
going back to what you said, the person I met on the roof, I am well aware that that all organization is certainly a grey area. However, they have taught me some things that have kept me alive.
I don't doubt they've got skills. I'm just saying you probably... Well, unless that's the way you roll, of course. If you're into murder and poisoning and thievery, then you crack on. I'm not one to judge. But,
Are you from like a rival organization or something like that?
oh, no, absolutely not. Not a rival organisation. As I say, you've not quite earned... I slipped there. I shouldn't have even mentioned that. No, you've not earned the knowledge of that just yet. Just take comfort in knowing that there are individuals who are interested in finding out what is going on in Thalis, or what went on in Thalis, and what continues to happen, and you seem to be at the centre of it, so they have taken particular interest in you.
Can I ask
I'm
another
here.
question?
That is a
And
question.
I'll raise
I
my
want
hand
to be
as
able
well.
to stop
I'll
you
raise my
anyway.
hand to ask a question. I'm just trying to follow whatever the social protocol is here. This is strange to me. I noticed that you have a similar ring to what Karsus wears. Can you elaborate on that, at least?
It's for storing spells, so I don't have to use all of my energy in a...
Ah,
Fine,
shit. Should have took that. Fucking idiot. Yeah. Thank you.
Looking at her,
It's fairly common.
Do I recognize the symbol on her necklace?
Make me a history check, please.
At this point, Jules is actually going to go, I am going to get us all drinks. I think we all need them.
Yeah. Hot leaf water for me, please. Thank you.
A beer it is.
No. I need to stay calm and level-headed. I can't have any intoxicants. Thank you.
I'll take Lex's beer.
I'll take a beer if you're buying.
Yes, I am. Well, actually, that Dragonborn is buying, but you know.
Even better, I'll take two.
Well, I shall see if Second brings them up, and we'll leave for a moment to go get them.
16 on that history
Quite
check.
nimble, that one. 16 on the history check. So as you look closer and sort of just peer towards that central pendant, you see a symbol that combines two types of symbology. There's symbology of books and the symbology of a maze. So it's stylized as this open book with maze-like designs covering its pages. There's also what looks like arcane symbols etched into this, even though it's still quite small. And with a 16, you've heard of this symbol, and you've seen it in places. Every now and again it pops up in a textbook or a history book. But there's very little information around it.
Any other information I can discern from the arcane symbols on the book?
I mean, Arcana check, please.
I can hopefully do that. Sure, no disadvantage. I can't. 11.
11. You sort of peer closer
12.
to these
sorry.
arcane symbols. 12. There's some bits that you think you recognise, but then it's almost like it shifts and you sort of shake your head for a moment. There was something around pure magic. Like the runes themselves are some of the oldest runes you have recognised, and they do sort of evoke that sense of purity in magic. And then knowing or seeing that you peering quite intently at her chest, she tucks the pendant in. It's rude to stare, my friend.
Sorry, I know your eyes up there, but I was just interested in the symbol.
Oh, I don't mind you staring at that. That's fine. It's just, like, at least ask first.
That's a good point.
Buy them a drink.
I've noticed that when you pick me up, I noticed that your eyes are blue with purple, and as you can see, I'll point to my eyes. I have one of each color. I'm sorry. It just seems to be quite a coincidence that we've met very few tieflings so far, and all of a sudden one that looks so similar to myself.
Yes, I suppose I do. Well, let me first drop this, and she sort of clicks her fingers, and that purple sheen to her skin sort of dissipates. Don't think I'm going to be needing that extra armor for now, anyway. As for the purple in my eyes, well,
What is she? What?
I can only attribute that to my arcane abilities, I guess. I've never paid that much attention. You have lovely eyes, though. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. The contrast is quite striking.
No one has ever told me otherwise. So
Oh, fine, fair enough.
Am I being a third wheel?
I'm literally writing that in chat right now.
Not at all, my friend. It's just, well, you know, tieflings, when we see each other, it's doesn't happen very often. Not everybody's
also
mother from a
promiscuous?
demon, put it that way.
Well, are you also promiscuous? Is that a tiefling thing?
That's
Was
very
that the
forward.
wrong question?
Am I promiscuous?
apologise.
I enjoy the company of others. Take it where you can get it, I guess.
I assume that means yes. And then I look at
just many
Classes,
things,
is
many
it
things
okay?
in common.
Did I ask
Many
the right
things in
question,
common, Lex.
Classes? Did I do good? That's kind of what I'm.
Yeah, we'll have to work on the delivery, but I think that's a good start.
Yeah.
I'd definitely work on the delivery, personally.
So you've helped us and you saved us. Thank you, by the way. What's next for you?
Well, I was hoping to actually see where you'd got to in your investigations.
Are you joining the investigation? Maybe do you want to become part of the
Your
team?
task. My task is just to watch over you while you're in this city, and then I'm sure I'll get tasked with something else. But
Oh. Well,
I was
we
just
were-
hoping, seeing as you've had all this time to get from Thalissa to a Grood, you'd at least have figured something out by now.
We had a little bit of a deviation.
We got sidetracked.
Plans.
Our friend died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You seem
We
to
died quite
be
a bit,
doing that.
evidently.
Yeah. Well, at least
Yeah.
you put yourself in awkward situations.
Yeah.
Tiny bit of, and I don't mean to be condescending here. Just maybe not do that.
Do what? Sorry.
Die. I mean, solid advice, I suppose.
A, get sidetracked. B, find yourself in situations where you're at the literal beck and call of the Raven Queen.
well, we were actually following a lead, which is why we met with the nefarious person you referenced earlier, and we were just waiting to see what intel they had to see if it gave us a lead. But we're actually on our way to chase a lead to the west.
You see,
am I talking too much? Am I
that
saying
makes
too
sense.
much?
If you no. If you're going to get information, then why not use the network of spies that can pretty much get you whatever you need? No, fair play.
I just want to point out that Cass's eyebrow definitely twitched at the mention of the Raven Queen.
It was the best.
When did you get here?
Did she have a habit of doing that?
Oh, you don't get used to it, honestly. God.
Yeah, I was going to say that you get used to it, but you really don't.
Holy gears.
Drinks,
Yeah.
everybody.
You see her hand where, like, and there's like a flash of orange that she just closes her hand down and like. Whew.
You really got disintegrated, Joel. You need to be careful.
Yes, yeah, and I will pass Lex a tea, whether it's good or not. 2 drinks to Cassis, a drink to our guest, and keep 1.
I was hoping you would say to the barmaid, "Oh, can you run him up to the room for me?" And then the alarm just starts going off. It just creates absolute chaos. But no, you didn't.
And then at that point, brings the hood down. Yes, on.
Shearer's then gonna lift the glass and just be like, "Well, here's to your continued survival, at least." And downs the whole lot. Ah.
What is this? Stinging nettle tea?
It was the only teas they had, and they have a greater selection of beers and tea down there.
It's not bad, I suppose. Thank you. I sounded ungrateful.
The inns around here are not known for their teas. The apothecary has some nice ones. I'd maybe check them out if you want to go get some tea leaves for yourselves.
The information
we were just talking, Jewel, about Shearer joining our investigation, right?
No. That's your task, as I say. I am here purely to help you out in that situation, but other than that, to be a silent watcher, if you like.
Well, the information I have, let's find out. Oh, by the way, Lex and Cassis, the warrant, was the bounty, was for all of us, dead or alive, 500 gold each. Quite frankly, an insult.
That, surely.
Yeah, this is a slap in the face more than anything.
You murdered a senior
Pretty
alchemist.
sure my
Got to be worth more than 500 gold.
I wonder if it is even
my
political.
other warrant is more than that.
We didn't murder anybody, just for clarity.
Correct?
Testing.
We definitely murdered people, but not the person that we're being investigated.
For.
Can we roll back to you've got another warrant out there? Do I really need, like, is there more I should be concerned about here?
100%.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
You three are like a total clusterfuck of chaos. This is fantastic.
No. There is no chaos involved. I am restoring balance.
Like
Unorthodox, I will accept.
Well, balance and order, I can understand. And
The
there's a moment where
crucial
she almost
information
just touches the pendant underneath her top. Carry on, Joel.
So
You're sending somehow in a spin. It's quite fun to watch.
Jules going to bring open get out the second. You said it was the same green parchment as before.
Mm-hmm.
We'll bring that out, and we'll unroll it.
Okay, so you break the seal on the envelope again, and there's that. To which Ashir is just going to look. Well, that's not creepy at all. And you take out another sheet of bright green parchment, this time larger than the previous one.
Same, completely blank.
Completely blank.
We tried heat before, and then we did something else, and I can't remember what that was. Oh yeah, it was the blood. It was the blood. So yeah, I will do the same, and little prick on the finger, and over the
Jewel
sheet.
is a little prick. There we go. Drop. Single drop of blood lands on the sheet of green paper, gets absorbed, and then yet again words begin to form. And Ashira is just going to sort of lean over. I'll give them their due. That's pretty cool.
They have the flair for the dramatic.
That's an understatement. I'll sit over here and enjoy your drink. And she takes your drink and goes to sit in the corner and just sort of leaves you to it for a moment. As you begin to sort of read the words that come through, it reads, "Dear Diamond in the Darkness, your payment of 30 gold was well received. We appreciate you sending this ahead of time, lest we have to track you down for payment. The information you seek was not difficult to come by. The individual known as Callan travelled south, not a day before you headed north. Once they entered into the gates of Lysa. Lysa, did I get that right? No, I've not got that right. Bear with me. Wrong city. Jacer. Getting me cities confused. Yes. Once they entered beyond the gates of Jacer, they met an unfortunate end. A spear through the neck will do that. You seem to have gotten yourself in quite the pickle. And we can help you. You have your contact in a Gruz already to help you with skills. The first step is taken. The step that cannot be retraced or taken back. Welcome, Jewel of Shadows, to the Serpent's Cloak. And inside... Oh, sorry. As you read that, your eyes literally scan over that last statement. There is a small spark of arcane power. And in front of you, a tiny, tiny badge, about the size of a 1p piece, with a tiny little pin on the back, with a symbol of a serpent's head with a dagger plunged through the centre of it.
Where you go?
It seems I am officially a member of the Serpent's Cloak.
Congratulations.
Yes, well done.
That's useful, right? In our investigation.
Yes, I believe it will be. I believe we will gather tremendous information, and hopefully I shall also learn some valuable skills. Even when writing...
The side, they don't usually give those out without some form of payment.
Hey, that could be it. Did the contact from the cloak help you do those things you did in the fight? She give you anything?
She only gave me this letter.
Oh.
Not true.
Oh,
Gave you a vial.
Gave me a vial. Oh, fuck me, I haven't got that done. This letter and this vial, however, I have not partaken of it.
Oh.
No,
Seems,
so I shall get to the information in a minute. It is just by the by.
dead end?
Quite literally. He is dead.
Oh.
It does not say whether it was an it or whether it was accidental. He was a fighter, no. So it simply says he was stabbed in the neck with a spear. Days later, he is yes.
Matt, super paranoid stuff. But does that match any form of execution that I know of?
Make me a history check, please.
Ooh.
Do they have a spear? Our friend?
Uh,
A shield?
that is a disadvantage, so it's going to be quite bad. History check.
Sounds.
7.
7.
The other one was a 21.
You don't recall any execution styles from the Auroran Empire, but you do know that the Imperial Army's weapon of choice is very much a spear.
Oh, good.
Goddamn fascists.
Fascist.
Yeah, Jewel, at the mention of spear through the neck, I'm gonna go. Well, there's a little bit of information, if not all that we wanted, but I mean, it might be a coincidence, but it seems that coincidences are following us, and spears are the weapon of choice from the army of the Auroran Empire. So
we managed to get on the wrong side of the law in less than a day?
Or
Upon
he
entering...
was
You
questioned on.
made it want to look like that.
entering...
Sorry, I'll leave you to your conversations.
No, your conspiracies are helping.
Jason.
Maybe he was questioned on your whereabouts particularly. And,
maybe he did not come back with what he promised he would.
Because he was due to fight you in the pits. Maybe he was supposed to come back with your head.
He was there for you, Cassis.
It's a human that wanted to start a fight. I mean, it's
Quite normal, I suppose.
I've been there before.
Well, actually, that is promising information then.
Well, I did not think it was. I am glad I told you. Yes. Gee, you said it was a coin?
No, a
Badge.
badge.
Sorry.
Tiny little badge, about the size of a 1p piece, but more ovoid in shape, with a small pin on the back. And yes, the symbol on the front is a serpent's head with a dagger plunged through it.
And what was
Now attribute as
the...
the symbol of the serpent's cloak.
What was the description of the vial? Because I suppose I don't know what that is yet.
Okay. As you look at the vial itself, there's probably around 10-20 milliliters total of liquid in this vial, not a lot. It appears like this white, quite viscous liquid.
I will...
A vial of jizz.
You sick boy.
Why would you do that?
Why is it little...
Salty!
See, Chad thought that as well.
Stick with me.
Jesus
I'm
Christ.
not the only one who's...
Fuck's sake. I forget who I was speaking to there. I should have changed that.
Yeah, you're forgetting your audience, Matt. You're forgetting your audience.
I am. Crazy. Well
I
done,
will...
well done.
So I will bring it out in the room so everyone can see it. And be like, has anyone seen this before?
Oh God.
Well, I have seen things that look like that, but I'm sure it's not what I think it is.
Thinking about it, I grew up in a place where people didn't have genitalia, so...
Considering your history, Cassis, I think I know what you think this is. I am hoping it is slightly more magical.
It looks like gear.
I mean, I will tell you that sometimes it is very magical, Joel. But yes, I will.
You are incorrigible, Cassis. Well, anyway, I don't know what it is. I'll just put it back in my
What are you
bag.
referring to, Carsus? I feel like I'm not in on the joke. I don't get it. Is this another one of those innuendos that I'm learning about?
Is Cass going to explain the birds and the beast next? Is this the episode?
I understand. Lex understands the mechanics of reproduction. He's just he's not really banging cog, is he? There's not many orifices on Mechanus. Let's not mess about.
Well,
there is.
You see, Lex, when people have intercourse and then they reach a climax, to put things in your language, then there are certain liquids and substances that are
fluids.
exchanged from bodies, and this is one of them.
Sounds like a fair trade. Yeah. It also looks like gear's lubricant. Is that what you use it for as well?
Oh no.
What would mechanical version of D40 look like? Because that's wrong.
You've realised that you're now setting up the Mechanus uses jizz to like oil every single game.
That's the only reason I got teleported there, so they can siphon off my semen, keep all the gears turning, like in the Matrix, but it's just jizz rather than pods and pods of people's sticks.
They put people in pods, just like Mechanus is just the multiverse's biggest sex dungeon.
That's canon now, Matt. Write it down.
Well, there's your clip. There's your clip for this episode. Anyway.
I mean, we never get derailed.
We
never get derailed. A man got stabbed in the neck by a spear 3 days ago, guys. Come on.
Anyway, Joel, if you think that's magical, I could try to identify it, if you want.
Yes, by all means. It is taking up space in my backpack without knowing what it is. So, please.
Right.
As for any more information, we are looking for as to our original mission, our little jobs that was going to earn us a little coin. As far as we know at the moment, very little. We are traveling. We are tending to travel west so that we can find out more information. It seemed we did notice a particular machine was doing something, but that is all we found.
Do you still think it's actually worth traveling west? I know we wanted to speak to the Circle on Artemis' group, see if they could give us more information on the device and what it may mean, who may want to stop it, if the organization has enemies, that sort of thing. Do you think that is still worth pursuing?
What else are we doing apart from running for our lives, apparently?
Yeah.
That's true. At least run towards something we think might be helpful.
I think if they are
guide us west?
If they're going to provide us some information about these tears, then maybe.
Yeah.
I still think that's what we should do. I mean, we all have now interest in at least looking into these portals, so seems to be the thing there
At
is.
the very least, if we can stop these shadow creatures coming through.
Yeah.
Hurting anyone else. Mrs. Nightshade? Miss Nightshade? The Nightshade?
Miss is fine.
Will you help
can
us
just call me a
west?
shearer. Can I help you west?
Or at least get us out of the city safely.
I'm afraid that I do not believe that we are going to be able to leave just so soon. Or more precisely, I am not.
Oh.
In the form of requesting this information and my previous dealings with the Cloak and my recent meeting, I am afraid I am in a little deeper than I want to be, but nevertheless, I am not going to ignore it and leave, because that will get us all killed, and definitely by more powerful and more people than that Dragonborn. So, I am sorry that it is going to delay us, but I believe that I am going to have to stay here. I do not know whether it's a day or more. We also need to potentially spend a little bit of time figuring out any more information we can find. We were rather rushed when we were being hunted down, so I wonder if in a more immediate fashion we need to get more information in the library. I still am not feeling my best. I need to meet with the Serpent's Cloak, and I wonder if there is any suggestions you have on our current bounty. We have just taken down a bounty hunter. Is there any way that we could get some way of someone believing that someone is on our tail, so no one else comes after us? Maybe we can die here? Can we...
Oh, fake our own death.
Yeah,
instead of actually dying for real. Is that possible?
Yes.
Is that some...
Why not?
And then my only worry is if we ask the Serpent's Cloak for another favour, it might then bound you even more to them. But could they get word out that we are dead, potentially?
That is an option. I again, as you say, I do not want to get myself so heavily into the Serpent's Cloak that I can...
Yeah.
I owe them, my servitude for the rest of my life. I probably already do. But we need money. And we may even need to do most of this ourselves. It may also be that it's a favor for a favor. I may ask them. They may ask us to do a job for them. We are enrolled in this. Well, I am. You can, if you need to, you can go.
The only thing if we're going to stay here and help / wait for you, we should definitely try and buy more potions and stuff to heal us, just in case we come across more bounty hunters.
And that brings us back around to the money. I know that we are not exactly penniless at the moment, but perhaps, if it is safe, a job here.
I can also try to find a place to, some sort of fighting pit. Maybe put a couple of beds.
It's not exactly staying off the radar. However, I suppose as long as they are maybe underground ones.
I have a left field idea. I don't know why I keep raising my hand. It just feels appropriate.
It's very polite of you.
Thank you. Could we pretend to cash in on our own bounty to figure out who set the bounty in Agruz, or who is collecting the bounty in Agruz? So, for example, we can pretend Jewel has turned on us and is turning us in, or Karsis.
More information. Yes.
That
We
is
can at least
actually
find out.
So Joel's going to get the reward bounty scroll out, and we'll bring it up for everyone to see.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any information about the return? This warrant is officially by blah 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 and Sons.
Any seals?
Yeah.
As you begin to study the bounty itself and sort of look around. You see the crest of Thaylissa at the bottom. No specific symbology other than the symbol of the city, or at least the symbol of the guards of the city, the military force within the city.
I'm afraid this is not particularly a surprise, as we knew that the guards were there to arrest me far too early, and they were going to, at least a small portion of them, were in dealings with whoever is actually behind this. It would be nice to get the 1,500 gold if we think that we can pull it off. However, the only way I can think of is either asking the Serpent's Cloak or finding 3 very similar people to ourselves and them meeting there, and I am not particularly happy in randomly killing anyone.
And it looks like we'd have to return to Thaylissa to cash it in, and I think that's too premature to return.
Well, we most certainly could not. It would have to be someone we trust, and that we would give maybe a small, commission to it. However, I do not know that we know that immediately, but let's keep it on the back burner if we notice anything.
Yeah, I think the thing that we need to do is we'll have to move west at some point. That is still the goal. But yeah, Joel, if you have things that you need to sort out with your group, and we can, Lex and I can spend some time finding those potions, finding a little bit more information in the library, and once we're ready, then we head off.
Yes. I must start thinking about this more positively. I'm sure that they are able to help me. Clearly, I have an infinite amount to learn, so I hope that it is going to be beneficial to all of us, and I'm not just enslaved from this moment. But yes, I am sure I'm going to be able to leave afterwards, but I know that it would be my death warrant if I left immediately.
Yeah, we would have got enough death warrants, thank you. Do we need disguises? Do you think? Or do you think we can move safely through a Gruz now?
Well, I have a small kit that may be able to help, and we would probably need to continue to get supplies. I can certainly help one of you, more likely Lex, help you look different. Cassis, slightly more of a task, and, well, I can, in all honesty, only ever look like a tabaxi. I suppose I can change a little bit, but I just like to not be seen.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about you sneaking through town. It was me and Carsus would probably stick out a little bit more. But if you're watching over us, do you think we'll be safe in a Gruz for the next couple of days? Sure.
There's only certain places I can follow you, is all I'm going to say. I will do what I can to keep others away from you while you do what you need to do.
Okay.
I suppose the one thing I will add is that Thaylissa has no jurisdiction in Gildon. This region is very much has its own laws, has its own rules. So even if they did wish to try and use local forces around here to try and capture you, there's negotiations that need to take place before that, and I may be able to disrupt them if they do start to happen. But
you are talking of extradition? They might try to...
Yes.
I suppose our greatest threat is going to be bounty hunters.
I think so. Whether you meet any that are as... or... Yes, sorry, are as... potent as our previous friend, I don't know.
He just had a really bad breath, really. That was the
He
problem.
did, didn't he? It was awful. Smell of death.
It was...
Ugh.
Yeah.
As a follow-up question, what do we need to do to earn the information from you on the organization that you work for?
That is well beyond my call, I'm afraid. I have a certain rank in my organisation. I do my tasks. If the powers that be deem you all worthy of that information, then they will give it to you, not me.
Is it a religious organization?
Far from it.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. Is it a book club?
Is it a book club?
I noticed the book pendant, so I'm just guessing at this point.
Well, we're each given a book. So I suppose you could say so, yes.
Were you chosen, or did you have to apply?
Nobody applies.
How are you deemed worthy to be chosen?
That's, more information than you're privy to. And I am nowhere near drunk enough.
You'll get more beers.
As I say, I think that was my cue to go and get some more.
Not going to happen. I will take another drink, but that information is closely guarded.
Well, perhaps one more drink for everyone, and then I don't know about the rest of you. I certainly could do with some rest. I do believe...
Fucking knackered, man.
Yes. I will need my strength for tomorrow. I believe I am meeting the Serpent's Cloak again.
1 point from me. I'm knowing something of what these factions of thievery and assassination are all about. That paper's supposed to crumble away, is it not?
I'll look back at it.
As it explodes in your face.
As you look back at it, the text that you had previously read is gone, but you now see almost text in reverse.
Can I still read it? Oh,
Turn the
as in,
page to it.
I turn it over. Yeah.
I was about to ask Cog to record it and then play it backwards.
So you turn the paper over, and yes, you can now read it. And the text reads, "Welcome. Here is your first task. You have been given a vial. This vial is very important for the work we are about to ask you to do. Within this city, there is a smith. This smith has failed to pay their protection cover for a number of months. This is not acceptable. This vial must be slipped into their morning tea. Leave. Do not stick around. Do not wait to see the after effects. Do not wait to see anything else. Simply slip the vial into the tea and leave. Upon completion of this task, you will truly be a shadow initiate, and you will receive a sum of 100 gold pieces for your efforts."
Uh-oh.
I don't read that bit out. Can you just say
However, as your eyes...
the bit again
Carry
about so slip the vial into their morning tea or whatever
of the smith.
Yeah. And then it was don't hang about.
Do not stick around once you've completed that task. Leave.
Yeah.
As your eyes scan over that text, and as you complete sort of reading it, the paper then just crumbles into ash. That's what I was expecting. Now I know it's not a fake.
Never
What do we
mind.
say?
Never mind, Cassis. I shall have that back, and I shall just take it back.
What did it
Alright.
say?
My task for tomorrow will actually require me to have this when I meet up with them again.
What's the is there is
Yeah.
anything
What's
we
it
can
for?
help with?
Is it the lubricant?
It is not. Well, no. The one thing I got from the meeting last night is the least said, the better. Again, we were overheard in this room, so I just think it is best I do not particularly say what is on the paper. I am just being paranoid, but that is it. However, I will need to get up early, so one more drink and then I am definitely going to sleep. And again, I think it is a requirement that I go myself on this one. We do not want perhaps another issue in trying to find each other in the city.
Are you sure you're going to be okay going alone?
No, but again, I think I am going to have to. Did it say who or not? Presumably there's many blacksmiths in a Gruz.
You've only seen one smithy.
I have, but that would be...
Yeah,
Yeah.
just kill the first smith you see.
yeah, just randomly just kill one.
In answer to your question, no, it did not say who.
say.
It just said the smith.
And from the meeting that we've just had, I suppose, that happened last week, did it actually say that I need to meet them, or that everything will be on the paper?
Sorry,
I had
Did
the
you
impression...
meet-
yeah, so what was it that I was going to meet?
did you need to meet Nadira again?
Yeah, basically.
I'm going to say you don't know. That was not clear, as is the situation right now.
Yeah, they're bloody
but
annoying.
you have a task.
Cool.
Can I insight check Jewel, please, to see if they're not telling us because we got overheard last time or just because they're being shifty?
Yes. So, yes, contested check, please. So that will be deception on your case, Jules.
Yeah.
13. Not
Cool.
that great.
19.
Yeah.
Not a clue.
Good work. And then what I will do, though, because she said she needs to go it alone, I will use message to send a secret message to Ashira to say, will you be able to watch over them tomorrow when they go it alone? I worry about
And
her.
there's a moment where they, sort of finishing off Jules' first drink, their eyes meet yours and there's a purple flash as you get back in your head. I'm interested in this one.
Boom!
I'm going to follow.
Thank you. I'll give her a little nod.
Very good. Well then, my friends, I should probably let you all get some rest. But I'll be around. Not that you'll see me, of course, but I'll be around. Yes. Have a good sleep. Try not to die anymore. Avoid grey taxes and all that. Might want to go invest in some more potions. You seem to be looking rather low. Anyway, yes. Thank you for the drink. And she steps out of the door.
Thank you for saving us. This is our pleasure for the drinks.
hopefully we'll see you around.
I'll see you. You won't see me.
That's called voyeurism.
Closes the door.
She's actually got a point. I can barely see Joel, so...
Yeah.
Very good. As you then bed down for the rest of the evening, although you've already had sort of a long rest, you're all pretty fucked from that fight and need to rest and recuperate.
There's
Is
a
there
couple of...
anything anybody wishes to do?
Yeah, so about 10 or 15 minutes after saying that, Jewel will actually bring back out the vial and go, on second thoughts, Cassis, I'm sorry. Do you mind seeing if you know exactly what this is?
Yeah, no problem. I'll do that.
After all, if I am, I suppose, asked to drink it when I meet them in the morning, I want to know that they are not trying to do something awful.
Yeah. Not to worry.
Smart.
I will sit on the floor and open my spellbook and take out the pearl from my component pouch, place the pearl on top of the vial, utter a few words, and then bring the pearl 10 minutes later up to my eye, casting Identify on the object.
Okay. It's certainly not a magic item as the first thing you get from this. As you begin to study it and understand it and sort of understand the makeup of it, you realise that this is a concentrated venom of sorts.
Ah.
This is Jewel. This is a very, very powerful, very concentrated venom. So I wouldn't drink it if they ask, unless you're sure they've got an antidote for it.
Thank you. So that is the information I wanted. Yes.
What about if they ask you to use it on someone?
Well, I was purely believing it was possibly mind games, and I would hope that it is more about the fact that they would expect me to know certain information, and maybe they, me bringing it back, that if I did not know what it was, I am clearly not an information gatherer, and that it would be silly of me to be of use to them. So I hope that me knowing exactly what this is will mean much more.
You wouldn't give it to someone if they asked you, would you?
I hope I will not put into that situation.
That's not a yes or a no.
If your life is on the line, all three of us, how would you know what we would all do? Like I say, I would not want to.
It's a good dodge.
An uncanny dodge.
Oh man, that was a natural 20 on that.
Almost want to give a point of inspiration.
That was sensational.
Almost.
Other than that, yes, I would bed down.
The casters will take
Excellent.
a moment
So
after
anything-
they both go to sleep.
Lex, then, is there anything you want to do before you go to sleep, or?
No, I'll meditate when I wake up. For
Excellent.
my
So
emotions.
you bed down in your bunk. Jewel beds down in their bunk. Cassis.
After I make sure that they're both asleep, I will flick my spellbook to another page, and of a spell that I've copied recently, but I haven't been able to use. And so I will take about an hour and 10 minutes and I'll place some charcoal, some incense, and herbs, and I will sort of burn those inside the room. Open the window, probably.
Windows are
And
yeah.
great. And I will take my time to cast Find Familiar.
Ooh.
We are going to take a short break.
Yes.
Before we reveal that fucker. So, because that's going to be cool. So we'll leave you all in suspense. And we'll be back here in a few minutes. Yes, to reveal what Carsis has found. So yes, join us all in a few minutes.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
We are back. So I did drop the link to the Homie and the Dude Kickstarter in the chat. So please go and support them. And yes, if you do want to get some skyship battles in your own 5e games, then that's the Kickstarter to support. Of course, as always with Kickstarter, it is an uncertain investment of your cash, so just be careful, and if you're a little bit nervous, then I would say probably don't do it. But yes, please crack on. Anyway, as the chat already kicks off as we go into part 2 of this episode, we join our party with Jewel mulling things over even, Lex bedding down to sleep, and Carsis casting a particular spell. So as you cast your Find Familiar spell, then Carsis, describe to us what happens.
So the all the material components are burning, and the smoke is flowing, and eventually, once the spell is finished, the smoke stops like curling up and forming a ball in the above the like the spell book at this point. And then there is it starts taking shapes, and the final shape that it takes is this of a winged creature, 2 tiny wings, and it looks like a bat. And as the smoke starts then almost solidifying, you start to notice that the wings are slightly more doesn't really look like a normal bat. It's more like there's something a little bit more devilish to it. As I choose a devil as the type of creature that I'm summoning as familiar, and it's got this sort of mainly bluish color, almost the color of the ocean. But then it kind of it goes on like a gradient to a very dark blue, neon black. And I summon my familiar.
And in those moments where the smoke is forming, there's these very fine, very faint, almost flashes or surges, what looks like almost blue flame and fire. And your familiar presents itself to you.
Hello? Haven't...
Hello.
Wow, I was not expecting that. Haven't called you in a while. Well, never called you, but I know that they've done it before, and I thought it was neat.
Don't get much of a response to that. Just sort of the feeling of a little bit of confusion, but almost a nonchalance around it as well. But...
So I might ask for your help from time to time. I think. Well, we'll see how this goes.
Familiar at this point sort of flutters, sort of swoops of these devilish bat wings and sort of launches itself into the air and then just slowly descends towards your shoulder, where it then just sort of stands for a moment. Its head looks around and then it up to the ceiling, where it then just hangs upside down, closes its wings around itself.
Yeah, sleep is a good idea. And I'll kind of go down, hit my head on the pillow, and fall asleep, sword by my side.
Very good. Okay. Any final things anybody wishes to do before they sleep then? I think that's pretty much it, isn't it?
Yep.
Very good.
That'll be it.
I'm already asleep.
Everybody roll me a charisma saving throw, please.
Oh, good.
Marvellous.
Is it a spell?
No.
To check whether I have
Just a
damage
dream,
or not.
man. Just a dream.
Ooh.
Natural 20.
Nice.
No. Oh, it's that single pitch perfect too.
For 23.
I rolled a 20. I rolled a 21.
Nice.
I roll, the man who is all about charisma, being a sorcerer, rolled a 13.
13. Very good.
Damn, you must have rolled low on that dice.
Nailed it. I got a +6.
So, Jewel, you fall into a dreamless sleep for once. Not plagued by the visions you've had the previous nights. I think the only things that you recall when you wake are just the sounds of snakes hissing, which is a little bit unnerving. Just your subconscious sort of echoing the day's events back to you. Karsis, similar. You don't really experience dreams as such during your slumber. But you wake, and it's almost like as you wake, you have that image of blue fire just seared into the back of your mind for briefest of seconds. Lex, as you sleep, things are very muddled. You see a stone structure with this shimmering effect to it, even though you can still see through the center of this stone circle, if you like. And you remember a portal, wandering, falling. You remember seeing, and you dream of, these infinite discs that all seem to intersect and turn with mechanical and clockwork motions. You dream of cogs, as in your ally, and beings much like Cog, with 2 eyes, 4 eyes, 6 eyes. And then there's the voice. Always the voice, but never a form. Remember the mission. And you wake. Yes, Stick, Lex dreams of cocks.
Dreams of biblically
Well, wait.
accurate angels, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You awake to the familiar sound of a bustling marketplace, a bustling bazaar, as you are near enough right at the heart of it, or not far. Sunlight streaming in through the open window, where the shades just sort of flutter in the wind, and you can feel that heat coming in from the outside as we begin a new day in a Grooze. Everybody make me a perception check quickly, please.
I don't have disadvantage. Finally.
Oh, that should mean that everything's gone on mine. Is that right?
Yes.
While I
So
randomly
everybody
press
gets a
a
long
lot
rest.
of different buttons. Okay.
Anything
I have
that was
rolled
there for
13
years
quite a
is
lot
gone.
tonight.
Long rest.
Say again, sorry?
I said I've rolled 13 quite a lot tonight.
So 13, 14, and
Oh, for what? Sorry.
missing items. Perception check, please.
Perception check.
I
Yeah,
don't think
sorry.
that-
Jules gone
perception
invisible
was
on the
shit.
screen.
I've already gone invisible. So, press reload. See what that does.
Oh,
There we go. Perception 25.
25. So Cassis and Lex, you both sort of get up, stretch a bit, go about your morning ablutions. I think Lex very much goes and uses the toilet, the full plumbing, makes use of that. Jewel, you sort of get up and immediately notice that there is something shoved under the door.
Do I also notice something with Cassis?
Wait.
Cool. I will go to the door. And yes. What is it?
So you see a piece of parchment sort of shoved under the door and folded. A normal looking parchment this time, your standard sort of ochre cream colour, and you sort of open it up and you see a note from a shearer which just says, "A pleasure meeting the three of you. You're interesting. Certainly innocent, that's for sure. I will be watching. Where I can, I will help, but do not expect to see me anytime soon. Take care of each other, and I wish you well on your endeavours." And it's signed, a Shearer Nightshade. Funnily enough, written in purple ink.
Do we have a candle in the room?
I will say yes, there is a candle in the room. It's a fairly
Cool.
standard thing to have in a room.
I'll light the parchment and get rid of it.
Okay. Parchment burns and it's gone. And it's at this moment you then sort of look up and notice a bat hanging from the ceiling. It's one of the sort of wooden beams that it crosses the ceiling. And you notice this
Ooh,
strange
would that have set
blue-coloured
the
looking
alarm
bat.
off? That I
No,
in the
because it
alarm
was
spell.
inside the radius.
The alarm.
And technically, it come from the designated person who wouldn't set it off. One of the designated, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Loophole.
How on earth does that get in here? Lex, I thought your alarms thing would go off. There's a bat here.
What? Ah, did I not do the spell properly?
Oh, no,
Uh,
I'm sorry. Good morning. That is, that's mine.
What?
What?
Familiar.
Well,
Well,
you're familiar with it?
yes, I suppose I am, yeah.
Do you mean you've had sexual relations with it?
No, not that. You can be familiar with people and not have sex with them. That is.
I
something
can,
that-
but you can't.
Well, to be fair, Lex, he has not had
Familiar
sex
with the
with
two of
either
you.
of us. Exactly. There we go, Cassis, of course.
Yeah,
Yes.
okay, yeah. Touche.
I mean, that might change sometime, but at the moment,
Anyway, what?
That escalated quite quickly.
What have you? Why have you got a bat?
Well, the thing is that like I know that wizards have, the people that study have many familiars, but I could have picked a lot of things. I could have gone for maybe a cat, but I thought that would be quite strange,
Germanic?
considering that you're here, Jewel. Could have gone for something like a dog or a wolf, or many things. But I just thought that a bat would be quite fitting, I guess.
And a familiar is what?
So
Talk.
it is a creature that obeys you. It's like a creature from a slightly different plane from ours.
Is that not what we are trying to stop to do? Is these
Yes,
things coming
this
from?
one.
Have you been creating planar rifts while I've been asleep?
No, it's not that. It's more like, it's like a spirit. It's not really a creature that travels. It's just made it possible
Is it like
to
your
for the
version
spirit
of a
to
cog?
manifest. Yeah, for example, except less metallic and
In short, I do not
So
need to slam this dagger into its body. Yes.
You really don't. And I mean, if you do, it probably will instantly disappear, and I can just summon it again. But I'd rather you don't.
That sounds like a lot
Like
of
it.
work. Okay.
I get it. It's like a companion, like Cog. Cog, go and say hello.
Yes, Cassis, thank you for not getting a cat. That would have been quite, I don't know, weird, perhaps. Having
Yeah,
pets.
I thought so.
It is not lost on us.
Yeah, thank you for also not choosing a snake. I appreciate that.
Could have gone with that.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, we had a letter from Ashira just saying it was a pleasure to meet us last night. I think we can possibly say the same. Hope you understand. I did not keep the parchment. I've burnt it. I don't want any. Enough people are finding us. We do not want to leave them into it as well. But yes, they said they would look after, not look after us, look out for us. It's very
That's
nice.
good.
You can also possibly tell I'm still here. I know that sometimes I disappear.
I thought you were leaving early.
Yes, I now understand that I did not properly. I was tired. It took me a while to understand what they were asking me to do, and actually I thought I had to meet them this morning. I do not. I have to meet them at a certain time of my choosing. So, perhaps
Does
you
that
can
mean
go
you don't
on,
have to do whatever you need to do today?
No, there are many things I want to do this morning. I think we all need to just gather some more supplies. I am thinking perhaps we do need to go to the apothecary and maybe the blacksmiths. I need some more arrows and some more healing potions.
Yes, I believe we went through your stock yesterday.
I am glad to have gone through it because it means that we are all still here.
It's at this moment you hear a screech and a mechanical whirring as Cog just beams down, and you notice Cog has still got like a small little like spike on the end of one of the claws, and it's just sort of poked the bat.
Oh. Sorry, Carsis. It looks like the meeting didn't go too well. What's the protocol for addressing your bat? Does it have a name?
It does, actually. It's called Tabitha.
Tabitha. That's it.
And I'll kind of call.
I don't know what
call
name I
her
was
down to
expecting, but
Mishpal.
it wasn't. It was not Tabitha. I like it.
Yeah, it's just it's a nice name.
Do you choose the name, or did
As you
they
call-
come with the name?
No, you choose it when you bring it forth.
Oh, okay.
As you call Tabitha, she does sort of just lets her feet go and falls for a moment for the wings outspread, and she just sort of parachutes almost down onto your shoulder and then just lands and the wings fold around. And you can just see that almost mouse-like snout just sort of snuffling around.
She's quite
And the big
majestic,
ears just
actually.
pop.
Well, she is
She
my familiar.
or-
What else are you expecting?
She or they?
Ooh, good question.
It's she.
I'll just say Tabitha, as to not make a mistake.
Fine.
Can
Breakfast
I
and then errands.
stroke Tabitha? Is it like a pet situation? Can I stroke Tabitha? I've never seen one before.
I'll turn to Tabitha, see what she wants to do. You alright with him petting you?
Tabitha's head sort of looks toward you, Lex, cocks to the side, comes back to the side as one of the ears just go up, and it's almost like she's listening for a moment before she then just sort of her head just shrinks down, and it's almost like she bends forward towards you.
Fascinating.
Do you
Thank you.
pat the little bat on the head? I say little bat. Are we talking fruit bat? What size sort of?
One of those giant, like fucking. It looks like a giant
Fucking
fox with
giant
wings.
bat, yeah.
Vampire.
No, it's more like a fruit bat. Yeah. So it's a tiny creature.
Yeah, tiny little fruit bat.
Tiny little fiend.
Okay. This is where the DM now has to go and research all things bats. But luckily, one of my favourite animals. So.
Guano.
Yeah.
Shikaka.
Ooh, is it on
Can
me?
it do? Can it do echolocation? Is that going to be one of its powers? And then
Oh, it would have blindsight, presumably.
It has
we'll know
blindsight.
where Jewel
Yeah.
is now. We've got sonar.
That's the only reason.
She will fit in Cass's palm, as per the question in chat. She is teeny tiny.
She also
Excellent.
has
So, with...
one hit point.
She's
Oh.
not a very strong little girl.
I let him pet her too hard and she's now dead.
She can be resummoned. You know, that's
Yeah.
that's the deal with familiars.
So, with familiar introduced and things to do, what are we doing first?
I need to meditate before we leave. As you could tell, because I wouldn't have got giddy about a bat if I hadn't have meditated.
In that time, then, can Jewel go down and get some breakfast for all of us?
Okay. As you descend down the stairs, then Jewel, once again you see Nadira behind the bar. Nadira acts as if she has never met you in her life.
Excuse me?
There's no familiarity.
Well, actually, is like breakfast being served down there, or is it just like a standard old tavern? What's going on? Is it?
You see a few people sort of sat at tables that are eating. It doesn't look like there's a breakfast buffet or a continental breakfast anywhere around there. It certainly looks like it's some form of order.
With the gather of the room and sort of the trends of the area, is it something where I would understand that I need to go up to the bar to just go, can we have some food on the table, or would it?
You tell me.
We are. Yeah, I suppose. Yes, this is considered the same continent that Jewel is from.
Yes.
Not a break in it or anything. So.
Although a different region, but yes.
Different region. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So Jewel. I think Jewel would know to go up to the bar and order some breakfast. Excuse me. Can I get some breakfast for room 17? May we take just any table?
You can take any table, yes. Shit, that's not the accent I was doing.
That's amazing.
Fucking just go and use a table. Yes, you can go and use a fucking table. Fuck's sake.
Jewel just goes,
This guy's Johnny English.
wow.
Love it.
And then just walks back.
Had to add to the chaos there. Absolutely had to add to the chaos there. Hey, yes, you can use whatever table you like, and any preference on foods or allergies or any of the sort?
No. Simple continental breakfast would be wonderful. 3.
Bread, cheeses, and some meats. Then 3, of course.
Sorry, we paid for our room, but we did not pay for breakfast. How much do
Room
is that?
17. It's all it's all paid for. You'll be fine.
Thank you. You're going to sit down and wait for the others? I don't know whether the cast actually came down with me.
Yeah, I won't go with you, but I certainly follow very close by.
Okay. So you see Jewel go to the bar, and you see this moment where Nadira does just sort of look to the side and curses herself, and then the accent you expect comes out, and then Jewel disappears off to a table in the corner. I assume you then follow. In about 20 minutes, an hour, Lex? How long are you meditating for?
So it depends how shit my roll is for a start. But it should only take me about 15, 20 minutes. But what I'll be doing as I make my roll, I'll be focusing on what was said to me in the dream. Remember the mission, remember the mission, remember the mission. That'll almost become my mantra for it.
Alrighty then.
Fucking hell, I rolled a 10.
You rolled a 10.
I rolled a 10.
Your emotions are not in check for today.
Okay.
Maybe.
Oh boy.
Lex is going to call somebody a cunt at breakfast. Brace yourself.
Alright, you slag. Want to see some claret on the pavement?
He turns into a hillbilly when he comes down for breakfast. Howdy, y'all!
Fucking brilliant.
You want to
Now
cause
there's
some
a gator in
chaos
there.
here?
The cabin again.
He's all of a sudden got 2 desert
Hey,
eagles for
Mama,
no
there's
fucking
another
reason.
gator in the yard.
Oh no.
Isn't that a Monsters Inc. reference, Dave?
Yes,
That's
it was.
fantastic.
Yes,
Well
it
done.
was.
Because we're mature adults.
Yes.
No, we're absolutely not. Any Disney reference, throw out there.
We
Fucking do that. Very
we have
good.
we have
So
many hours of
eventually-
recordings to prove that we are not. We are not mature.
Yes,
All three of you.
years
Yeah.
material.
Yeah.
3 years of absolute chaos. Cool. All 3 of you meet sort of then at a table in the tavern as Nadira sort of brings across your food. Hope you enjoy. Tips
Thank you.
are always welcome.
Hi, Madeira. Nice to see you.
Morning. Acts as if she's never seen you before in her life.
she moves away, I'll turn to Lex and Jewel. I'm sorry, I thought her name was Linda. It's not that at all?
I think she has quite a few aliases. I think Linda might be one of them.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
It may be prudent for us to not talk about that here, or quite frankly, anywhere.
Of
Mom's
course.
the word.
Yeah.
Wow. I thought I was going to be in trouble.
In your mind,
Now
Lex,
I
you're going to
know.
hear a question from Cog, which is, why is mum word?
Oh, it's a saying I've picked up on this land. It means your secret is.
Confusion.
Yes, they are, but you gotta roll with it sometimes.
Is there
I'd like to
Honest.
think Cog took that literally when I said roll with it, and he just rolls across the table.
Ding, 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 ding.
Mum's the word, mum's the word, mum's the word, mum's the word.
Do not dabble in colloquialisms, to quote.
Love that quote. Love that quote.
What is
excellent.
well, Joel? Since you have a little bit more time than you thought you might, what do we think will be the plan of action for today? I'd quite like to go to the library.
Yes,
But then again, I
I also would as well. But general supplies, I think, is what we need.
Yeah.
We seem to even get into fights in the streets here. So maybe that first, then the library. I think
Yeah.
that is good.
Do you think it's even though we're going shopping and we're going to investigate, we still need to protect ourselves against potential assailants? Would you say?
Let us not be overtly obvious. However, I would just say we need to get on with our lives here. One bounty hunter has found us. However, potentially he was quite high level, and possibly no one else was willing to take his bounty. So I would say we probably have a few days before we have any problems again.
Well, it's best to be safe than sorry. And what I'll do, I'll conjure up almost 2 cogs in my hand. I'll place them to you, and I'll say, place these against your chest. And then as you place them against your chest, it'll go into you, and you get, as I cast aid, and you get 5 hit points for 8 hours.
Hey!
Is this a spell, Lex?
Yeah, and I'll do it myself. Just extra bit of protection in case we come under any fire.
Okay, thank you.
Gosh, 35 hit points. Look at that.
Oh, nice.
My name's Text.
That's
I'll
fucked up.
class is also Text.
Lower thirds are having a great time. They're not even lower thirds, whatever they are. Those bits are having great fun tonight.
Do you know what?
No,
Can I
no,
just,
no,
I just like to revel that I've got the highest hit points of the group with 37. I spent a whole campaign like below 100 while you guys were 3 million.
What makes me laugh is we've got a rogue, a sorcerer, and a wizard.
And the wizard has
And the
damn
tanks are the wizards and the sorcerer, which is fucking unheard of.
Welcome.
it's so
So
cool.
there we go. Cool. So you cast aid and aid each
Yep.
other. And then where are we going then? So you have the Grand Bazaar. As you sort of partake of your breakfast, I will say that Tabitha sort of swoops down off your shoulder onto the table and picks at a bit of meat for a minute before and then wanders over to a bit of fruit and slaps it up. Even though they don't need sustenance, sort of begins to pick apart a pear, we'll say.
It's not a vampire bat. That's good. It's good to know.
Not yet.
Cool. Yeah. So Do we know where a library is? I suppose we do know with the blacksmith. We do know where his blacksmith is, I believe, and so perhaps we go back to where we were before.
Makes sense.
We can possibly see if we can find a library or ask around while we are there.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose that when we go out and we can just grab someone and ask, not literally grab them, but just ask where we can get some supplies, directions to the library, all that good stuff.
Yeah. Yes, let's just do that. And yes, I definitely want to get.
I will say you remember from your previous escapades, the evening before, that you had passed a smith's, a small bookshop, and a number of other stores, but they were the two that sort of stood out to you. In terms of where there is a library, you've not really explored a Grooze in any great detail. The person that's gone the furthest has definitely been Lex, and Lex mainly went through the Grand Bazaar to the Temple of the Sun, and then to the House of Prayer, and then headed east out of the city without really paying much attention to what the fuck was going on.
Pebbles made it to my house. Did you see it just go across
I just
That
freaked the fuck out when I
was.
realised that wasn't my cat's here, and I'm like, what happened then? Almost exactly, Jewel.
Apart from the little white paws, yeah.
Apart from you don't like to shit in my house halfway through the stream, like that one does.
I mean, Dave's not been in your house for a while, so...
Yeah.
That you know of.
Excellent. So, where are we going?
General supplies first.
General supplies first.
Supplies. Okay, so I will say you wander outside of the tavern, and you see again that not a smithy, but more of an armor smith of sorts. That small building where there's a number of very intricate shields outside, some made of wood, some made of metal, but the majority are wooden in nature. And you then continue into the Grand Bazaar, which is a huge district of shops and market stalls selling everything from arcane items to general goods. And you sort of look around for those sort of more general shops, general stalls, and you find a sort of small cluster of them towards one corner of one of the quadrants in the Grand Bazaar. What is it you are specifically looking for then, folks? Or what do you want to approach one of these storekeepers and ask for?
Jill would like to recoup a number of very normal. She doesn't need the magical arcane parchment. Just literally just some parchment. Quite a lot though.
Okay.
If she can.
So you wander past and you see sort of almost like a stationery stall, if you want. I don't mean stood still, I mean stationary, as in office supplies sort of thing. You see a stall selling a number of quills, ink pots, parchments, rolls of parchment, scrolls, and all sorts. You sort of wander over to see a furbolg individual stood there with sort of this shock of green hair and a nose sort of not a nose ring of sorts, but almost like a bolt through the nose. A bar is the word I'm looking for there. Bar through the nose. These crooked teeth and this almost pale, I'm going to say sort of palish green, almost blue-black fur that covers their body, just wearing the standard attire of Agrusian citizens. And I'll do this for the sake of brevity. You managed to pick up some parchment and some
a couple of inkwells, just to.
You pick up some supplies ready for writing.
Cool.
And I will say that will set you back a gold piece, single gold piece.
Cool.
For the amount you decide.
Yes, whatever Cartus was left after.
Cartus?
Yeah, I'll be grabbing the ink and parchment that I need to change spells, but I add that when I'm transferring spells.
That's cool.
So.
Excellent. So you grab what you need, and this Furlog individual seems very, very glad of the custom, and sort of eager to sell his wares, or their wares. And you continue on. Where are we going to next?
Do we want to try and get some potions?
Yep.
Yes, I think there's at least a couple for each.
Okay. You ask around then where might be the best place to get the potions, and you are told to head towards the Silverleaf Apothecary, of which the name rings a bell, as you had passed it the previous evening, and you head back towards that alley where everything had taken place, and you actually do pass it as you head towards the apothecary, and there's a moment where you sort of all three of you glance down, and the alley is almost as if nothing had ever happened, devoid of blood, devoid of bodies, devoid of any disturbance whatsoever, despite somebody landing on a barrel and despite there being 5 bodies down there the previous evening. Nothing. But you do wander over to this apothecary where you see almost like a sigil of sorts outside. Almost looks like a coat of arms. This silver leaf across or atop a green background, and underneath the silver leaf apothecary. And as you enter inside, you see an elven individual, sort of androgynous elven individual in these sort of long, flowing, greenish robes, the sleeves that cover their hands, very, very slim. This long white hair that just falls naturally down to just above their arse, and this almost hook-like nose of sorts. But other than that, standard kind of quite what you would expect from an elf, just immediately serene, beautiful. The only blemish being this hooked nose, if you like. And they just turn toward you. Good morning.
Good morning. We were looking to buy some potions to help us withstand some damage and some cuts and heal ourselves with. And I was also looking, if you have a nice establishment here, I was looking if you have perhaps some scrolls with some magic in them that I could potentially transcribe or something. That's mostly what we're looking for.
Potions of healing I can certainly sort you with. Scrolls and spell books, not my thing. You might want to go and visit the Golden Quill for this bookshop. Not far, just around the corner. Did you have any idea of what strength of potion you are looking for?
Well,
we've been
the best you've got.
We've been going on with we've been going on with the basic stuff. But if you have something a little bit more potent, then I don't think we're going to say no to that.
I have some greater healing potions. They are 75 gold pieces each. How many
Sold.
can I take?
How many do you have?
I have many. More than you could possibly buy. They are sought after and common in this age. I also have some standard healing potions. I think I have some elixirs somewhere, but it's up to you.
I shall take 4, please.
Of the greater or the standard?
The greater, s'il vous plaît.
The greater. 4 greater
Yeah.
healing potions.
I'll take 3. Thank you.
for 7. Any more?
I will take 3 as well.
10 will be 750 gold pieces in total then, please.
I assume for a large quantity such as this, there is a discount? 700, perhaps.
Yeah, rogue. Yeah, rogue.
Yeah, boy.
Make me a persuasion check, please.
Not allowed in the party if I don't try.
Exactly.
30-20.
Nice.
I am willing to drop to 700 for 10, of course. This is the way of the city. Well done.
Thank you.
Might it interest you in anything other than healing potions?
What else have you got? Do you have like anti-venom,
Look like
that
the-
sort of thing?
Anti-venom, and you mean antidotes?
Yeah. Something to counteract the effects of venom is what I'm trying to say. Just in case
You have-
one of us accidentally drinks some venom. You know, the white thick stuff?
Depending on the dosage, you have the necessary items right there, the potions of healing.
Right.
Without knowing
Jewel
the
giving Lex a
particular
real
type
eye
of
at the moment.
venom, it would be difficult to provide the correct antidote, other than magical healing potions.
Well, if this will work, then that's fine. Thank you.
I just not ingesting any venom of sorts.
That's solid advice.
Sage advice.
You look like the adventuring sort. I have certain potions for hiding, potions for making things more difficult to traverse, and others that are more volatile of sorts. It very much depends on your personal preference.
I am interested in that one you spoke of first, the hiding one.
Yes, I have 2 left potions of invisibility. Again, somewhat more common, but very useful.
How much for each?
That will be 125 gold pieces a piece, 250 for the 2.
They spenny.
I shall give you 225 for the 2 of them.
Make me another persuasion check, please.
Ooh, shit. Persuasion 12.
These are my last 2. I'm reluctant to let them go for less than 240.
240, deal.
Very good. You, my tiefling friend, look like this would be of interest to... Places just this small little flask in front of you. Which has got a thick wax stopper in the top, or a cork and it's sealed with wax. And you notice the liquid inside it's almost gaseous, but still liquid, and it has that blue tinge to it of flame, but also oranges and reds. It's sort of itself just roils inside this vial. This is a particular concoction of mine. It's highly volatile. Don't drop it. I call it Alchemist's fire.
Is that a fireball and a potion?
I'll have a bet. Yeah, that's basically a grenade. Have some of that.
Yeah.
4!
Yeah.
I'll get 10 of them.
Pull. How much are you charging for such a incredible item?
Oh, while it is volatile, it's very easy to make, so it's only 25 gold pieces, but I only sell them in single batches. Don't like to keep them together.
Probably for the best. Yes, I will definitely take it then.
So you do take a vial of Alchemist's Fire, which has exactly the same after effects as a fireball spell, but the radius is halved. So it's a more focused
Is that
explosion.
that you made, by the way?
Yes, but I've not homebrewed it yet. So let me homebrew that, and I'll add it in for you. So just make a note for now, and I'll probably homebrew that one on D&D Beyond.
Is that everything we are looking for?
I think we're leaving with more than we hope to get. So
Yeah.
that's a win in my eye.
You got anything that you'd recommend for me? Maybe?
What is your particular skill set, my friend?
Restoring balance, keeping things in order. It's hard to explain, really.
He is a sorcerer.
A sorcerer.
Yeah,
and
probably should have led with that. Yeah.
What sort of magical talents do you favour? Destructive, reparation, more seeing types, or what is your preferred spell?
I'd probably evocation, if I'm honest. But
More destructive of sorts, then.
Yeah, I like to.
this vial that I have given to your friend, I do have these small spheres. They release clouds of smoke when you throw them on the floor.
That's like a distraction. Or do they cause damage? Is it like a poisonous gas?
Will obscure the vision and create a cloud of dense smoke for a period of time.
Hey, is that something
I
you'd
also
find useful,
have
Jewel?
Stops mid-flow.
Perhaps carry on to what your zone was?
Yeah.
I do have this. It was sold to me. I have not made it, but it is a very viscous oil, quite slippery in nature.
For looping up gears?
One could use this for this purpose, yes, of course.
Alright. What's its primary purpose then?
To make someone fall over, Lex.
Just makes surfaces slippery, so yes, for oiling gears or lubricating mechanics, of course.
Okay, sorry. I'll take some of that. Cog might need it, but I also need it to make somebody fall over, like you say, Joe.
I will save the negotiation. You have spent enough coin. I will give you the oil of, well, slippery stuff and a sphere of smoke. I will give you that for 200 gold pieces together. The smoke
Okay.
for free, essentially.
Smoke for free. That sounds like a good deal. Thank you very much. And I'll hand over 200 gold.
Very good.
Lex think he successfully haggled there like a boss.
That brings us to it was 965 gold plus then the 200.
I'm glad you're keeping tabs because I've completely
Oh,
lost
okay.
that.
I was actually writing down knowing that was going to get exciting.
1,100.
I was
yeah.
doing mine as I was going along, so my tab is paid up.
So you're doing
boy.
that.
I
Sorry,
mean, I know what mine is, so
how much did you pay then, Lex?
Well, if we got a deal on potions of healing, it'll be 200 for me and Cassis, 300 for you, and then I just paid another 200 for them, so I've done 400.
Fine. So I'm paying 540 then. Cool.
I'm paying 225.
Yes, you are. Cool.
Amazing.
So yes, the
Isn't-
golden quill for books just across the way. Can't miss it.
Yes, thank you.
Is there? Am I wrong? Did we not just go past a blacksmith's as well? Nearby.
Yes, the aptly named Blacksmith's Forge. If you were in need of weapons or armor, yes.
Thank you. I think I will go there.
I believe the owner's name is Zephyr.
Zephyr.
Stout individual.
A nice chap, I hope.
She is
She,
very
pardon.
friendly.
Family, kids.
Upstanding
Gives
member of the
charity every
community,
day.
like. Yeah. I hope nothing bad happens to them. They sound wonderful.
We do not get many ill occurrences around the groups.
That is good to hear.
Calm city.
That is very good. Thank you. Please, your gold, and thank you very much for your potions.
You are most welcome. Tell your friends, of course.
I only have 2 friends, and they're both here, so I've got no one else to tell. I'm sorry.
That's quite alright. Do visit.
I have acquaintances I could let know if you would like that.
It was more of a figure of speech, but thank you.
We must be
Right.
going. Thank you, Lex. Come on.
Righto. I've got to stop taking people so literally.
Yes,
That is-
you do.
Excellent. So you all exit out of the Silverleaf Apothecary then, and you see the blacksmiths across from you. And while you don't see the smith, you can see the smoke coming out of this small brick building. And you can see what looks like a cooling trough outside. You see a number of racks of different swords and blades. You also notice there are a number of bundles of arrows and crossbow bolts. There's some longbows there, short bows, different weapons. There's also some armor pieces that you see, some chain, some plate, but not a lot. And one particular set of scale armor.
particular bit of scale armour, as in something we recognise?
The players
just
might.
one set of scale armor.
Is there like enshrined for like, is it Kirik scale armor, or is it the mithril plate Andy used to have?
Or is it very recently created from last night? Oh no, he was burnt away. He was burnt away.
That body was burned.
Guy just found it on the street. Well, I guess I'll make business with it.
You can hear the sound of sort of hammer on metal from inside, that rhythmic pounding of a smith at work.
Well, I wouldn't mind going in to see if they perhaps have a weapon with a little bit of an edge, or maybe they can do something to my own blade.
Yes, I need some more bolts anyway, and I certainly would not mind seeing what they have. It is unlikely I can upgrade today, but it is always good to know, and perhaps before we leave, in a couple of days' time, I will have enough to get something.
Right.
Okay.
After
How
you,
does Jewel look?
Cassis.
Does Jewel look like nervous or anything? This is a small question. This is not like
Okay then.
passive inside of 7 that the Cassis does not
I don't
notice
know.
anything.
How does Jewel look then, Dave? If you were to describe Jewel's look right now.
I would say intrigued. She is keen to know some information. I think that's what she's interested at. She doesn't actually look that nervous, or what you may or may not think that. So yeah, it is that she's keen and interested to find out some information.
I've just checked my passive insight's 14. I'm quite chuffed for that.
Literally double mine.
I am the Kirik of this campaign.
My passive insight's 15. Sorry.
Alright, show off.
But yeah, so in that, fairly normal, and mildly interested. Not exactly excited, but interested. After all, I suppose to the players, we have no idea if this is even the place. So, got to find some stuff out.
Let's go.
Just out of curiosity, Matt, what's that ball of smoke? What is that in my inventory? Does it exist? Or do you need to brew it?
Not, but it's
Okay.
for want of a better term, it's just a simple smoke bomb. So it's nothing spectacular of sorts, but it will literally. So it's this tiny little sphere that when you chuck it, will release a cloud of smoke, or when it's activated, will release a cloud of smoke, obscuring vision and allowing for escape.
Nice.
I'm
You
Batman.
could also use it. You can also use it as like a flare gun. If I'm stuck, I could send up smoke signals. Come save me.
I suppose you could, yeah.
So I think of if Jewel uses it, it's puff, and as it disappears, there's no one there. And if Lex uses it, he's still running down the end of the street by the time it clears.
Yeah. No, I'm just stood there going. This was a bad idea.
Oh man. Yes. So I mean, go into the blacksmiths.
Okay, so you wander into the blacksmiths, and there at this huge great forge with an anvil next to it is this rather stout female, quite evidently female, halfling, who is there just with this hammered Looks like they're forging a piece of plate chest armor in this moment. Doesn't really sort of hear you enter in, but then as you step further in, there's this tinkle of a bell somewhere, and then you just hear this, "I'll be with you in a minute." Ting, cling.
Oh, they have an alarm too. Like I can do this. That's pretty cool.
They hold up this plate, and there's a big dent in the center. Well, that's gonna be a bitch to fix.
I can mend that for you if you like.
No, it'll screw with the process. I appreciate the offer, but no, thank you. Hi, I'm Zeph. I'm the local smith in this part. Anyway, what can I be helping you with?
Oh, you're the only smith in town? You must get a lot of custom.
I'm the main smith in town. There's the shield master. They kinda do a little bit, but no, I'm pretty much the one who does most of the weapons and the metal work around here.
Then you must be fantastic at your work. Yes, we are looking for various.
I think so.
Cassis, you said you were looking for something.
Yes. I have this blade, and I'll take out Tear of Sorrow and show it. It is
Beautiful.
done me well.
Beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah, it's done me well in the past. I was wondering if you had, something that is slightly sharper, or if you could sharpen this one. That'd be ideal. But I understand if that's not something you can do.
I can sharpen her for sure. If you're
Maybe
in the market for something different as well, I've probably got a few blades that I can be showing you.
Yeah, I'd love to have a look.
You've dropped your coin first.
It's the metallic.
Oh, nice.
I'll have a look, and then if there's one that calls to me, I'll let you know.
What's your preference? Are you more for the short sword, the long sword? You two-handed with a great sword, more bastard sword, or claymore types, or scimitar?
No, that's all. That's all too slow. I prefer the short sword, to be honest.
Short swords. I've got a few short swords here. I've got. Bear with me just 1 second, and she sort
Jewel
of
leans in
disappears.
towards X to Lex and just goes, "I did not know there was that many names for swords."
No, I'm as baffled as you are. I'm just trying to learn.
Is that like the name of them, or are they different types?
Yeah. From what I gather, they're.
I thought there was like sword, short sword, dagger.
Just look and learn. I think. Ask questions. Ask him.
No, you do. You do it better.
So Zeph then brings out sort of 3 different swords. There's one that is not too dissimilar from Tear of Sorrow, with this golden pommel, golden crossguard, and then there is this purple leather wrapped handle or hilt, if you like, into this very fine silver blade with these purplish red, almost magenta-like runes that are etched into it. She sort of lays that down, and then she takes out another one, which is a lot more malevolent looking. It's more of a scimitar than a short sword, but still short enough, still small enough to be wielded quite quickly. This blue and gold hilt with an actual finger guard. At some point I'll remember the technical terms for all these things.
Cup guard.
And there's yes, and then there's these 3 sort of fins, if you like, that would sit just above the nape of your thumb, if you like, and then it leads into this slightly curved blade, but on the top edge of the blade there's these small little notches, and they lay that down, and then there's a 3rd final blade, which is very reminiscent of a standard cutlass or pirate sword or sailor's sword. But the hilt itself,
If you say
As
red
you look
ruby,
at
I'm
it-
going to kick off.
it reminds you of a banana that's been peeled, but where
That's
the
not where I thought that was
top of the
going.
peel opens up, it loops round into the crossguard, and then also the other side loops around into, again, that sort of the knuckle guard, or I forget what you've just said there, sorry, Smell. The bit that covers your fingers will protect the rest of the hand, and then this curved blade. These probably be the 3 best short swords or similar style that I be having. This one's not too dissimilar from what you've got, and we'll get her nice and sharpened, don't you worry about that.
Just checking anything the sentient.
Would you? I'm on it. Would you mind if I have a closer look at them? Take a little bit of
By all
time.
means, you
but-
have to get to know your blades before you wield them, of course.
Absolutely. Well, I'll leave you with my 2 friends. They might want some daggers or bolts or something of the like.
By all means.
In the meantime, I'll be casting Identify on those.
Okay, very good. So you spend
We're going to be here for half an hour because I'm casting Identify
half an
3
hour
times.
with literally Carsus is there looking at these with deep scrutiny. So, Jewel, Lex, is there anything you wish to... Excuse me. buy
Lex,
while
is there anything you want?
I mean, I seldom use it, but I do have a crossbow. I've got some bolts for it. I think Cat just knocked the coaster off. Cheers, mate. Why are you being a prick?
You do see a cat in the corner of the smithy that just knocks something off the side. You little shit! Will you just fucking calm down?
Does he knock the Smith's cup of tea over that he would have been drinking? They would have been
Yeah,
drinking
we'll
that
say the
morning.
cup of tea just goes.
No, I've got 19 crossbow bolts.
Bollocks.
I think that'll do me. No, I don't
You're
think
fine
I
for
need any
crossbow
supplies from here.
However, would be happy to take a dozen of your hands. I have this little hand crossbow. Just want to make sure it would fit these.
By all means, crossbow bolts are fairly standard, but look, I've got standards, or I've got some that are a little bit sharper, more detail taken in the crafting of the head of the bolt, the point of the bolt. I've also got some that are slightly more enchanted, and well, when I say enchanted, one of the local wizards just cast some spell on it and apparently does a little bit more piercing, sort of greater accuracy and a bit more punch into the target, more damage.
How many of them do you have?
Well, I've got probably, of the enchanted ones, maybe about 5 left, I think.
And how much would they be for the 5?
Ooh, for 5, probably about 250 gold pieces for all 5.
That is a little out of my price range at the moment, unfortunately. I think I will have to stick.
How many more of the
some coin?
standards will you be looking for?
I was looking for about a dozen. Maybe maybe you can have 1 or 2 of the.
I was about to say the same. Let's throw 2 of the enchanted bolts in, 100 gold pieces for that, and then we'll call it an even 110 bolts. 110 gold even for the 12 standards, and then, do you know what? For 110, I'll give you 20 of the standards, and then those 2 extra enchanted bolts.
Thank you.
Okay, so you have 20 standard bolts and 2 +2 bolts.
+2 is nice.
+2.
Let's have a look at those. Bolts +2. Damn. So then.
That's 2.
You have nearly cleared me out. However, it is lovely to know what you may have in terms of something similar to what I have here. Bring out the 2 daggers.
Well, but you wish for sorry, I went into your accent. It's very infectious, that. You want 2 more of the same, or are you looking for something slightly?
Yeah, if I cannot buy anything today, but yes, it would be very nice to see something I may be able to come back for. We are here working anyway, so hopefully I will be able to come back in the coming weeks or so.
Ooh.
Oh, by all means. I've got plenty of daggers. You seem... I think I might have something that might interest you. It's rather special. Again, forged with some arcane abilities and a little bit of magical imbued gemstones in a few pieces. But let me just go find it. How you... Oh, no, he's busy. Sorry. They're busy. They disappear into the back and they bring out this sort of polished black box, and then they open it up in front of you, and sat inside on a velvet cushion is this curved dagger of sorts. The blade itself is a very, very dark metal, just at the almost where the tang goes into the hilt of the blade. There are these 3 golden drops of metal that are formed into star shape. This then crescent moon style hilt that then bleeds into this purple curved handle and into a point then. And she sort of looks... I've called this one the Dusk Dagger. It's well, obviously inspired by the moon and night and stars and those sorts of things. If you, well, stab anyone that's covered or a little bit in the darkness, then there's some magic that deals a little bit more to them, sort of punishes them for being hidden.
Would that work against shadow creatures, do you think?
Ooh.
Damn, yeah.
Oh, this is incredible craftsmanship. I'm quite embarrassed about showing you my daggers now. Wow. I dread to ask, but how much would this set me back? How much do I need to get for this thing?
Well, this particular beauty's in the thousands of gold pieces.
That is enough to say. Thank you ever so much for even letting us see it. But yes, you are
one of my finest.
You have cleared me out. I am afraid.
Maybe some incentive to visit me again, and we'll see what you're willing to trade or part with.
If you want, Jewel, I've got some items that we could put together for a trade if you'd like. Try and get that for you. So you don't save you having to come back, another time.
I don't think that we surely cannot come up to this level of gold as we would need. No. For now, let us leave it. Thank you, though.
Most welcome.
While she goes away to put that back,
Oh boy.
can I see if there is anything in the shop that I don't. Jill doesn't think that she's going to see anything, but is there anything that symbolizes the fact that she's getting protection from the Serpent's Cloak?
I will say with your
Good shout.
passive,
But she's also intentionally looking for it as well, yeah. But
Okay,
yeah,
well, make me an investigation check as well then.
yeah. Yeah, I mean that's 15.
As you look around with a 15, there's lots of different things littered around here. You can see sort of blocks of solidified ore, different tools, but you just catch it glinting underneath a discarded hammer nearby. This tiny little golden badge. And you can just about make the symbol of a snake's head with the dagger through the top.
In answer to Samal's question earlier, Jewel's now quite guarded.
Karsis, then, as you sort of spend the half
So
an
what's the
hour
matter,
and-
Jewel? You look a bit tense. So you're disappointed about that dagger. I told you we could club together if you wanted.
No. Yes, of course I want it, but no. There is no point even going into the negotiations. We are not going to have enough for something like that.
Karsis, you finish your identification, if you like, or your analysis of these three items. As you look towards that more malevolent-looking, almost scimitar-looking short sword, if you like, you realise that there is magic imbued quite deeply into this, and you get the sense that there's something of the power of 3 within this. So 3 abilities that recharge, if you like, on a daily basis. And it's about how the sword affects your target. One of those charges, if you like, one of those abilities, can be used to attack a certain characteristic of your target, a characteristic of your choice. You could make them weaker, make them slower, debilitate them of sorts, affect their mind, or affect their personality. Basically, you discover that when you hit with this sword, you can expend a charge, force the creature to make a saving throw, your choice, and that saving throw will then affect that stat. So if they make a strength saving throw and fail, they would have a penalty to their attack rolls. If you choose dexterity saving throw, their movement speed will be halved and similar. As you then look at the pirate, the sailor's looking sword, the blade itself almost seems well worn, and again you focus on that brass handle that looks like a peeled banana. The magic is somewhat less in this, but it's certainly there to help with accuracy in striking, so +1 sword basically. But you also know that it has the capability of disorientating an individual and potentially knocking them to the floor with a single stroke. And then finally the third one, the one that looks somewhat similar to Tear of Sorrow. Again, you get the feeling that there are magical capabilities imbued within this sword. More than 3 this time. There's 6 in total on this one. And it's about causing a strike to affect the mind more than anything. Rather than try and explain this in some weird way, basically you have 6 charges. When you hit a creature with this weapon, you can immediately use a bonus action to expend 1 charge and cast the Vicious Mockery spell from it. which uses your spell save. When you do so, any words that you use to insult the creature will appear written along the blade where the runes currently are.
Nice.
And they stay there for 1 minute or until they are replaced by a new insult. There are other effects on the blade as well, but they are not necessarily important right now. It's more about what happens if there is a super save on the saving throw.
Cool. Would I also know through identify the rarity of these items?
They are all uncommon.
Interesting.
Despite some of the power on some of these, they are all uncommon items. You would know, however, that the malevolent-looking blade, in fact, all three of these require an attunement of sorts. You would have to spend time with them to truly understand them and truly become familiar with them. One of which is more for somebody who is attuned to musical abilities. The one that affects the mind more than anything. The malevolent-looking one that affects the statistics requires someone who walks that fine balance between good and evil, more neutral. And then the third one just simply requires attunement.
And the malevolent one is not plus anything, just has the characteristics.
Just has the characteristics, which is why it's not common.
Yeah. I will pick that one, and I will bring it forth to Blacksmith. I would still be interested in you sharpening the blade that I have, but if I wanted to ask you how much you would charge for something like for this one.
For the denier, as I call it. Well, she's a special one. But I'd be willing to barter, of course. But I'd be roughly willing to let her go for around 500 gold pieces.
A lot of money. Well, if that's the price you are putting down, then that is how much. And would that be 500 for both the denier and the sharpening service?
I'll throw the sharpening service in there, by all means. Absolutely.
Very well, in that case, I will take you up on that. I'll just pay the 500.
Well, let me package this fine blade up for you, and I'll, if you be willing, I'll take yours, and I'll give her the love and attention that she needs.
Yes, please.
Excellent.
Thank you.
She takes them off into the back and spends some time, and you, she sort of shouts out, "This'll probably take me about another half hour if you're needing to do anything else. Welcome to stay, or you can come back later."
What do you want to do?
Yeah,
Well, we can go to the library, I suppose. Or that scroll place you wanted to go to.
Yeah, we can go around.
sounds good.
We'll be back then in about half an hour.
Excellent. I'll leave them all in the back of the shop, so nobody gets a bit nosy or handsy. Don't you worry. I'll take care of these fine blades.
Thank you.
See you soon. Very good. And then as you exit to head towards the library or the bookshop or wherever you are headed, I'm going to say, because we are over time tonight, I just wanted to make sure we got that in while we were there, we will call it for this evening. So, intrigue, mystery, moral dilemma, and magic items. All for a decent session, I believe. So thank you all for joining us. Once again, this has been episode 17 of Campaign 2. A huge thank you to everyone that's joined us in the chat tonight. I know there's been there's been some new faces, which is amazing to see. Thank you all for joining us. Thank you all for getting involved in the chat as well. It's been phenomenal. That was a lot of fun today, a lot of chaos in the first half. And edging more towards that let's get down to business in the second half. So we will pick this up again immediately from where we are next week. So same time, same place. If anything changes in the meantime, we will let you know via social media and Discord. Please do go and check out the Discord for all of those homebrews, which I will populate. Not the ones from this campaign, but from campaign 1. I'll get those homebrews sorted out for our players as well. And yes, of course, support each other in there. I will also post the information around the Kickstarter in there for you all to go and enjoy if you can support that. But other than that, that has been us for this evening. Thank you all once again. Stay safe. We love you all. Thank you so much for the support, and we will see you next week.